Behind the grandeur of BTS's latest musical production, Park Jimin deliberately exposes fear, profound loneliness, and the fragility experienced during the group's hiatus through a surprising vocal technique he has never fully revealed before. International music observers have even described this performance as more than just singing in pursuit of perfect pitch. Instead, it represents an extreme artistic approach that redefines how modern pop star can explore the weakest points of human emotion without sounding artificial or exaggerated. How exactly did Jimin manipulate breath control and specific vocal placement techniques to the point where he could heal listeners' emotional wounds through the contrast of the tones he delivered? Welcome to Jimin Gallery, the home for Park Jimin fans who want to discover all the latest news, interesting facts, and stories behind the world's spotlight on Jimin. As one of the key vocal members of BTS, Park Jimin has once again become the center of global attention through his extraordinary vocal contribution to the latest work from the South Korean phenomenon. Since his debut, Jimin has been recognized for possessing a voice that is not only distinctive, but also captivating because of his ability to transmit the deepest emotions directly into the hearts of listeners. In their latest reflective song, Jimin elevates musical interpretation to another level by exploring the concept of human vulnerability with remarkable honesty. The vocal techniques he demonstrates this time prove that he is not merely a singer chasing technical accuracy, but a powerful storyteller who communicates through the medium of sound. Vulnerability is often one of the most difficult emotions for a vocalist to express without sounding excessive or forced. However, Jimin approaches this challenge with an organic and carefully controlled method in every line he sings. Through deeply emotional breath control, he allows his voice to sound fragile in certain moments, as if revealing the most human side of a global idol. This honest vocal aesthetic creates an immediate emotional connection, allowing listeners to become immersed in the story from the very first second the song begins. Jimin's distinctive vocal color, often described by music critics as a combination of silky softness and crystal-like sharpness, becomes his greatest weapon in this song. This contrasting vocal characteristic allows him to move effortlessly from low, intimate whispers to powerful high notes that still carry a heartbreaking quality. When he sings the opening verses, the gentleness of his voice acts like a warm embrace, calming the listener and preparing them to enter a deeper narrative. Yet beneath that softness lies an emotional sharpness capable of piercing the soul, creating a breathtaking artistic tension throughout the song. Through these extraordinary vocal dynamics, Jimin successfully captures and preserves the essence of deep loneliness experienced by BTS during their hiatus period. The moments when group activities had to temporarily stop and the members were separated by personal responsibilities and self-reflection naturally created a significant emotional void. Jimin transforms that emptiness into the main inspiration for shaping his vocal texture, allowing every breath between lyrics to reflect the silence of nights spent in solitude. The loneliness he conveys is not merely the absence of sound, but rather a heavy emotional presence filled with reflection and contemplation. Beyond loneliness, deep longing becomes another major emotional pillar that Jimin delivers with both power and elegance. The longing for the stage, for the overwhelming cheers of fans filling stadiums, and for the unity of 7 members standing together on the altar of art can be felt clearly through the vibration of his voice. The falsetto technique he uses does not simply function as a decorative element in the arrangement. Instead, it becomes a channel for expressing a longing that rises endlessly, yet has not found its destination. Every time Jimin reaches those high notes, listeners can feel an intense sense of yearning, as if the artist is calling out to something precious from a distant place. It is no surprise that many music observers and fans agree in describing Jimin's vocals as the soul of this latest song. Without diminishing the incredible contributions of the other BTS members, who also deliver outstanding performances, Jimin's voice carries a unique magnetism that connects every element of the song into a complete emotional experience. He serves as the emotional anchor that ensures the song's central message is not lost amid the grandeur of the production and instrumental layers. When the harmonies of the other members enter, Jimin's voice remains firmly positioned as the core of the melody, guiding the emotional direction of the entire song. The importance of Jimin's vocal role becomes even more crucial because this song carries a deeply reflective message about the nature of life, which continues to move like a wheel. Life never follows a perfectly straight path. There are moments when someone stands at the peak of success, and there are moments when they must pause in unexpected silence. Jimin's vocals capture this duality beautifully through seamless transitions between different emotional tones. He sings about triumph with humility, and sings Jimin's success in conveying this message is also inseparable from his ability to deliver deeply emotional articulation in every syllable he sings. He does not merely pronounce Korean lyrics correctly. Instead, he gives different emotional weight to every emphasis on consonants and vowels. Even listeners who do not understand the language can still feel the pain, longing, and hope contained within the song simply by hearing how Jimin breaks, stretches, or sustains certain notes. This ability to communicate beyond words through vocal color is what distinguishes Jimin as a world-class vocalist. For BTS as a whole, Jimin's fragile yet powerful vocal presence in this song becomes a profound statement about their current identity. After years of running endlessly within the global music industry, their hiatus forced them to look inward, and Jimin's voice expresses the results of that spiritual search. His voice represents the inner feelings of all 7 members that may have remained hidden behind the brilliance of stage lights and the constant attention of the media. Jimin bravely exposes the fears and uncertainties they experienced, transforming them into a highly valuable piece of art. In the context of the modern music industry, which often relies heavily on excessive digital vocal editing to achieve perfection, Jimin's performance becomes a refreshing oasis. He chooses to preserve natural imperfections, such as subtle vocal trembles or heavy breaths, in order to maintain the authenticity of the emotions he wants to deliver. This artistic decision proves to be highly effective because true beauty often exists within human vulnerability and imperfection. Listeners can feel a genuine sense of closeness, as if Jimin is sitting beside them and quietly sharing the contents of his heart without any barriers. The response from international music critics following the release of this song has also been significant, with many praising Park Jimin's vocal performance. Many have stated that Jimin has redefined how melancholic songs should be delivered by a modern pop artist. He does not fall into the typical pattern of ballad singers who tend to exaggerate sadness dramatically. Instead, he presents it with remarkable self-control and elegance. This vocal grace allows the loneliness he expresses to sound poetic, carrying a sophisticated artistic quality that is rarely found. Furthermore, this song serves as authentic evidence of how much Jimin has grown as a mature artist during those difficult times. Life experiences, personal isolation, and reflections about the group's future seem to have enriched the emotional references stored within his vocal expression. When he sings about the wheel of life continuing to turn, listeners are not simply hearing a concept or a theory, but rather a personal testimony from someone who's witnessed the world beneath his feet while still having to surrender to time and destiny. This emotional depth is what gives every note he delivers such immense weight. The reflective message about life's constant movement also becomes a powerful reminder for their devoted fans, ARMY, who experienced a sense of loss during BTS's hiatus. Through Jimin's voice, BTS seems to send a message that it is okay to feel lonely and miss someone, because those emotions are part of the journey before reunion and renewal. Jimin's voice acts as an emotional bridge connecting the separated spaces and time between the artists and their fans. The vulnerability he shares creates collective empathy, strengthening a bond that has existed for more than a decade. Structurally within the song, the parts performed by Jimin appear during crucial moments where the emotional atmosphere undergoes dramatic changes. The producer